we are now fastly approaching the beginning of September in 2021, and with that, you are seeing a lot of news, information, and leaks online suggesting that Nintendo is right around the corner from announcing a September Nintendo Direct. And in today's video, I want to break down how credible are some of these leaks and rumors, what can we expect from this event, and when will we get the official announcement from Nintendo for a September Nintendo Direct. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As I mentioned, guys, we are talking about September Nintendo Direct today, and the likelihood that we are probably right around the corner from an official announcement from Nintendo, even potentially happening as soon as this week. And I want to talk about where the information stems from, why you're probably seeing it talked about a lot online. And to start off the conversation today, the reason it's being talked about a lot online and the reason we see these rumors always heat up around this time of year is that if you just look at history, Nintendo always holds a September Nintendo Direct. There was one year in 2015 that they skipped over it, but essentially every single year besides that 2015 year, we have had some form of an official mainline Nintendo Direct. Even in 2020, which was the pandemic year, which they did deliver us a full Mario focused themed Direct for Mario's 35th anniversary. By the way, Nintendo, where is the Zelda 35 Direct? But that's neither here nor there. That's just something they skipped over, but they did actually deliver that even in one of the toughest years when it comes to game development. And they even had a Direct mini showcase also. So even when they were light on content, they gave us something in the month of September, as Nintendo likes to do this to capitalize on all of the holiday season sales that come up. And, you know, obviously retail, everything goes up through the roof in the Black Friday window and Christmas window of shopping. So it makes a lot of sense for Nintendo to actually hype up their lineup and tell you, the consumer, why you should definitely be picking up a Switch for the first time, or maybe upgrading to the Switch OLED and being pumped about the future game lineup for the rest of the year, as Nintendo does have a really nice holiday lineup for 2021. And then we have big games that we could get more information on in 2022 releasing in the beginning part of the year. We are even starting to see kind of your seasonal typical leakers pop up saying that they know that this event is around the corner, which obviously is never a hard prediction to make, but one of which I do want to talk about briefly today is Zippo, as he has had kind of a spotty track record over the course of time, but has definitely gotten a lot of things right, including most recently from E3's Nintendo Direct, the 2D Metroid and new Mario Party game, both of which we did not know at the time. He also missed some predictions, but that could still be in the pipeline or coming. But he recently went to a blog post and updated the fact that we are around the corner from a September Nintendo Direct. He even thinks it could be as soon as this week, as he recently updated it. And, you know, again, that's not a hard prediction to make, but that is just another person who has in the past definitely had some sources and some credible info stating that we are right around the corner from this event. So what games are we most likely to see featured at a September Nintendo Direct? Well, there's a few safe bets that I want to cover first, and then we'll obviously get into some of the more, you know, rumor and speculation territory, as we will most likely be right around the corner from one or two major unannounced official games from Nintendo at something like a September event. But the safe bets that I'm sure that we will see updates on is you have the Smash character DLC being closed out, as we do know that that is coming to an end and they have one final character to unveil. Why not open up a September Nintendo Direct with this reveal? And I hope it's a big one. I would love to know from you guys what your final character wish list would be. Who do you want to see send off the Smash DLC characters as a whole, as this is going to wrap the bow on Smash Bros Ultimate in terms of new content, at least according to Sakurai right now, as he has officially stated that this will be the last DLC add-on for Smash Ultimate. But I would love to know if you guys think we're still going to get content in the future. But I think, you know, he's done a great job of supporting this game for all of the years that it's been out, and it's time to move on to something else at this point. But we will get that final DLC character, and I would love to know who you guys hope it is. I would love to see a huge send-off, maybe Crash Bandicoot, maybe Master Chief, maybe Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, a big third-party character that's not like in the Nintendo wheelhouse would be a really cool one to wrap up the series with. But I do think that that is a safe bet, that if the September Nintendo Direct takes place, we'll most likely open the event with something like a Smash DLC character reveal. Now, we also have Age of Calamity DLC that we know is coming out in the month of November, that we would probably see them focus on, or at least give us some kind of new trailer or update as far as what to expect at something like a September Nintendo Direct for Age of Calamity. And then of course, you know, there's a few games that we know that are right around the corner. If this happens before WarioWare Get It Together comes out, they could give us another little update on that. They've already done a really good job outlining like all of the gameplay modes and co-op and how the story progresses and things, and just the way that it is a party game. We kind of know a lot of the functionality about that game, so we may or may not see something like that at an event. And then obviously Mario Party Superstars was announced, and we've had no further updates on it from the initial E3 trailer in 2021. And that's one that I think Nintendo would spend some time on and really show us the deep dive into what this game is going to have to offer, and try to sell us on picking up another Mario Party. As you know, the first one did sell very well on the Switch, and I'm sure that this one will too. I'm also more excited for this game because they're bringing back a lot of mini games and even the boards from the N64 era, which means more button style controls. As I've just, since the Wii era of Mario Party, I've never been that big of a fan of the newer ones, just because it's all motion style controls. And while it's fun here and there, I want some of the more classic style of Mario Party gameplay, as that's just where my nostalgia lies. But I do think that that's definitely a safe bet. And then we have the big game that we've seen so much information on, which is crazy, and it almost continues to blow my mind how much Nintendo is pushing this title and revealing to us new gameplay snippets before its actual release. But Metroid Dread may or may not be at the event, because I don't know how much more they will show us of this game before it's eventually released on October 8th. But if anything, it'll probably be promoted, as this game will be out on October 8th, and you should go pick it up alongside your Switch OLED model. And I do think they could definitely at least market it one final time, maybe with a mashup of different type of trailers that we've already seen announced. And a couple other safe bets that will probably be at the event would be something like an update around Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Advance Wars 1+2, because we do know that those are both coming out in the holiday season as well. Now from there, what is the kind of new announcements that maybe are not as well documented, and maybe not already existing updates to games that we know that will be featured at the event? Well, my first on the wish list is something that I've been talking about in numerous videos, and it is definitely time for Nintendo to overhaul Nintendo Switch Online service and entice subscribers to re-sign up or sign up for the first time, especially considering that they have new hardware launching in October, and considering that we typically see them focus on Nintendo Switch Online at something like the September time window, as that's when they initially unveiled the service. And then they added in 2019 the SNES to the family of consoles, and I think you continue that trend going with something like either the N64 or the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy family of systems added into NSO. And I think that that's a relatively safe prediction to actually make, because Nintendo is due for some kind of overhaul, and they've stated numerous times in investor meetings that they're working on ways to continue to get new subscribers and keep current subscribers enticed to the service, and they have not done a good job of that at all lately. So it's time for some kind of overhaul upgrade. Hopefully they do some under the hood stuff on the Switch UI itself, as you know, fans have been asking for themes and folders and things like party chat and all of that happening on board on the console itself, and not having to go through third-party apps and different crazy ways that you have to try to communicate with your friends right now on Switch Online. So I think this is the event to actually slow down and give us a nice 10-minute, you know, maybe even just 5-minute update trailer of what's coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and announce all the updates. So I do hope we see that at the event. Now, as far as other major games we could see announced that we don't know about right now, I do want to kind of briefly again talk about Zippo's leak list, as he did get some of the things right at E3 of 2021, and we didn't see everything come to pass, but a couple games that were on that list that were sorely missing from the E3 Direct presentation was a new Fire Emblem game, and then the big one for me is a new Donkey Kong. And we saw Donkey Kong talked about in the news for a while, because there were a few different sources that were backing up those claims and stating that there's some kind of 2.5D Donkey Kong in the works, and it's most likely being worked on from the Super Mario Odyssey team, or at least the same company that makes Super Mario Odyssey. And I think that this would be the perfect event to surprise drop that game. It could really be the game that closes out the show, in my opinion. Whether or not we would see it released in 2021 or not, I don't know. I mean, it would be surprising to see Nintendo launch that big of a game with that short of a window as far as like its time for media and trailers and a full-on marketing push. But we do know that Nintendo is planning a lot with Donkey Kong right now, as the next theme park addition to Nintendo World over in Japan will be a Donkey Kong focused area. And I think that it makes sense for them to try to line up that series for a full push at the same time. So maybe we at least see the announcement, and then we get like a 2022 at the end of the trailer. We also had recent leaks that a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is nearing completion from one of the voice actors that works on that game, and I think that that's another one that could be a big announcement for a lot of fans. I personally myself am not the biggest Xenoblade fan out there, but I would love to see a hype trailer and get me pumped up to actually have a reason to go back and play the other Xenoblade classics and get into the series for the first time with something like a Xenoblade 3 Chronicles being announced. So hopefully that would be another one we could see there. And then a big announcement that, you know, some of this may be in a February direct as opposed to it all being in the September, but it's still games that we know are on the table and are probably in development right now from Nintendo, and that is a 3D Kirby, as we even had the series creator stating that the next Kirby installment would be the future for the franchise, and it seems like it's going to be that big overhaul title that we've seen, you know, Zelda already go through with Breath of the Wild, and what we're seeing Pokemon attempt to do right now with Legends Arceus. And I do think that we will get something to that effect for Kirby at some point, and it could happen as soon as something like a September Nintendo Direct. And when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus, I probably wouldn't expect that to be at the event, as it does seem like Game Freak is very much, you know, kind of holding in their own Pokemon Present events now. And I think that we're seeing less and less focus from Pokemon games in mainline Nintendo Directs as far as the trends recently. So that'll probably continue to be the case. They may have like something like a hype trailer to close out the show where you see Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and maybe Legends Arceus focused on a little bit, but I do think we'll see less coverage of those type of games. We also could be due for some kind of Splatoon 3 update, which is a huge one for fans. We know it's coming out in 2022, but that's really about all we know right now. And this would be a good time to get fans hyped up with some kind of a glimpse of the gameplay or just the world as a whole, as we do not know very much about that game right now. You also have the Outliers that we haven't heard about forever, which is like Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4. I would be shocked if we see anything for Metroid Prime 4. I do think that Bayonetta 3 is the most likely game that we haven't seen in a long time to get some kind of upgrade or update rather at this event. So that all remains to be seen. The last big sleeper game or update that we could maybe see from this event, and it's one that I actually recently made a video on, is there's recent data miners that have discovered in Mario Kart Tour, which is the mobile version of Mario Kart that you can play on smartphones. There is clearly a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe folder in the most recent update for that game, and we don't know what that means, because does that mean that these games are going to just start talking to each other, or does it mean that Nintendo is actually working on something like a DLC pack for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as it's been forever since we've gotten a new installment in that franchise, and it clearly continues to sell. So I think fans like myself are at least ready for something new in the Mario Kart universe. That also was on Zippo's leak list for E3, and we did not see it focused on at that event. So we very well could be due for some kind of update around Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think it's less likely to see a Mario Kart 9 at this point until Nintendo stops freaking selling Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So if you guys would please stop buying that game, we're about due for a new one. But until everybody does stop buying it, we're going to continue to probably see more likely a DLC update for that title, as opposed to a brand new from the ground up Mario Kart, which I am still holding out hope for will be Double Dash 2, but we're probably not talking about that for another year or more. But all of that stuff is exciting to me. I do think there's going to be a lot of announcements at a September Nintendo Direct, and I do think Nintendo has a really bright future when it comes to the end of 2021 and into 2022. And you can even start to look at 2022 games lineup as a whole and think that this could be, again, the best year we've seen the Switch have since the original launch year of 2017, when we saw Zelda Breath of the Wild and we saw Mario Odyssey and all of the other games that came out on that incredible launch year. So I think I'm more pumped than ever as a Nintendo fan. But guys, at this point in the video, I want to know all your thoughts and predictions around what you think we will see focused on at a September Nintendo Direct. Do you think we're around the corner from the announcements, maybe as soon as this week, as far as the date being on the calendar? And you know, what games do you expect to show up there, and what kind of list are you most hyped for to see Nintendo focus on and hopefully get more gameplay or new trailers or new details for? So make sure you share all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around this topic. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. It's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.